we talked to the Chiodo Brothers about Killer Klowns from Outer Space on episode 324 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello everybody, I'm your host this evening, Tracy, as usual. With me this evening I have Darren.
What's up, Internet? How's it going?
It's alright, how's it going with you?
Good.
Good. We have Chris.
Hello.
How are you, Chris?
I am doing fantastic.
Awesome. And we have Lee.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I know you're alright.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you're
I'm quite
alright.
nervous, actually, in fairness.
You'd have to sort. Now, the reason Lee is nervous is because we have some very special guests this evening. We have the creators of... I just got really excited now. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. We have Stephen, Charles and Edward Chiodo. Welcome, guys.
Hey, hi. Well, hi there. How are you?
We are excited to have you on the show.
Very much so.
When I saw you guys posting on Facebook that you were down in Orlando checking out the Scare Zone at Halloween Horror Nights 28 this year, I was like, I would love to talk to those guys about that film and then obviously what you thought of the Scare Zone as well. So I reached out and here we are.
Yes.
We're really happy to talk to you. I mean, we're really quite pleased and surprised that Universal went all out for our film. So, we'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, it kind of fit really well into their 80s movies, monster movies theme. So,
yes.
Yep, perfect fit. So Killer Klowns is one of the amazing scare zones. I am so gutted that I have not been able to get out and see this at Halloween Horror Nights 28 this year. So we'll be discussing that later. But first, we want to get to know you guys and we want to talk about the movie.
Yeah, so Stephen, Charles, and Edward, again, welcome to the show. Can you guys give us a quick run-through of your history leading up to making Killer Klowns from Outer Space?
Well, history goes back really far. I mean, we can go back as far as childhood when my brother Charlie and I were making films back in the basement of our Long Island home.
Awesome.
That's before we came to California. So how far back do you want us to go?
No, we were bitten by the monster bug very early on in the Bronx, New York, watching $1 Million movie, the likes of King Kong, Mighty Joe Young, The Thing from Another World, Godzilla. We loved monster movies. We were fascinated by them. We carried that into our play, and then our play became our careers when we found out there were people actually making movies, and we could do it ourselves.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're talking about making films on 8mm and Super 8 back in the 60s. Monster movies, classic monster movies like Beast from the Egg and
The Sludge Grubs.
Yeah, emulating, the movies that we love, especially the Ray Harryhausen movies.
Yeah.
Voice in Bed, Jason and the Argonauts, Mysterious Island.
Yeah, we specialized. We were trying to specialize. We grew up with Gumby and Davy and Goliath, the stop motion movies, and the Ray Harryhausen, Willis O'Brien movies. We wanted to do stop motion.
Yeah, and aren't some of the films on the internet, like The Beast from the Egg?
If they're on our YouTube channel and on various releases of Killer Klowns.
Well, the newest release has our quite a few of our college and high school films.
Oh, so if anybody's
Awesome.
always check out those sources and see some of our old movies.
Absolutely.
We'll be doing that.
It's like, right, there's the week's viewing sorted.
Yes.
On the East Coast, it wasn't really a career to get into motion pictures because it wasn't really an industry like there was in California. So we all went to different schools. Charlie went to Pratt Institute and did illustration. I went to Rochester Institute of Technology and studied filmmaking. And our younger brother, Edward, he went to a number of schools.
Several. I graduated from Hofstra University with studying film and communications.
So we worked on the East Coast for a while, and then we figured, we wanted to tell stories in a major way, do feature films. So we packed it all up and went to California, I believe 1980.
Yeah, there was a short bit. We did a short stop motion movie in Virginia, Crystal City, Virginia. We did I Go Pogo. After that, we got our excitement from doing the stop motion movie, so we decided in 1980 to go out to California, when nobody wanted to do stop motion.
Which is funny when you look now, because stop motion's taken a bit of a resurgence with the stuff that Leica are making, like Kubo and the Two Strings, and a personal favourite of mine, Paranorman, so good, and they look so good for that stop motion. I think it gives it a very specific look. They're absolutely beautiful, those films.
And we're happy to see that resurgence. But when we came out in 1980, when we were told that no, stop motion is too expensive, too time consuming, and directors don't like working with it because they have to walk out of the room and let the animators and hope the animators get the performance right.
It was at a time where the movies, E.T., Gremlins had, been taking off. Those were, so there were live puppetry on stage that the directors could direct and not have to wait months and months for a post-production effect.
Yeah.
So that's the time we came into the industry, and so we kind of put our stop motion techniques on the side, but really the art of creating stop motion is very similar to doing animatronics and makeup effects and costumes. So we kind of correlated our talents into that industry. So we did films like Critters and a number of other monster movie type things.
Today, actually, where stop motion was being used, surprisingly, was in in commercials. The Pillsbury Doughboy and the Chuck Wagon commercials were using stop motion. So there were people that we knew that were doing those, but we started to learn the business of live action filmmaking, like Steven says, with puppets and animatronics.
Yeah. And then in the 90s, when CG became the new shiny toy, all the stop motion for commercials in the industry kind of went down the tubes. Actually, it wasn't until Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. That was the new benchmark. For King Kong and Ray Harryhausen. But for the new generation, it was a nightmare. And I think that started a whole generation of kids who noticed the difference between typical CG and all the other kind of effects. There was something special about stop motion.
So not only great characters and story, great movie, Tim Burton, there was some technology that they used on the movie that just really kind of changed stop motion for the better, made it more watchable, sustainable in a feature film format. And then Leica, as you mentioned, is just taking that and just run with it and taking it to an incredible level.
Yeah, we stayed with stop motion, though. We did some stop motion for our demo reel, which parlayed into an after-school television special. And we did a series of a Cup of Noodles commercials for Japan. So we were staying in stop motion, but we got a call to come up with low-budget movies. Somebody said there was an opportunity to make a low-budget movie, so we sat down and figured out what kind of thing we could make for a low-budget film. What concept could we come up with?
Awesome. So speaking of Killer Klowns from Outer Space, we'll put it out there for people who haven't seen it. It was
Shame
released.
on you.
I know, and I was one of those people recently. But it was released on the 3rd of June, 1988. And it starred Grant Krim as Mike Tobacco, Suzanne Snyder, who you might know from Weird Science is what I know her from, as Debbie Stone, John Allen Nielsen as Dave Hansen, and my personal favourite character in the whole thing, John Vernon as Curtis Mooney. I think he is hilarious in it. The film was made for, and I don't know whether you guys want to say this, but it was an estimated $1.8 million, and according to the internet at this moment in time, has grossed over $43 million worldwide, which is quite a substantial amount of profit.
Oh, what a surprise for us.
Yeah, you got to give us a backup on that number there, because so far as our accounting,
there's
Hollywood accounting,
there's $6 million in the hole.
Still
We're getting there, though.
I'll tell you, the hole, or who will be in the hole.
It's kind of fun to hear. I mean, when we first made the film, we just wanted to make something that we enjoyed, the kind of movie that we would like to see. Yeah. And after 30 years, we're very pleased and surprised that it's got such a fan base of rabid fans.
If $43 million is accurate, there's a lawsuit pending.
Well, since we brought that to your attention, we'll just take a small fee.
just quote us.
So we're thrilled that the most important thing is that 30 years later, we have 3 generations of fans that are enjoying the film and introducing their children to the film. Yeah. So Killer Klowns is going on in a very big way.
Yeah.
We're really happy that it seems to have worked its way into pop culture. And we feel rather proud about that we've been able to affect, in a good way or bad way, the culture of our world.
So Killer Klowns is, like you said, it's now very much a cult classic, right? It's been around for a very long time, and there's still a lot of big fans out there. So who came up with the idea for a movie based around Killer Klowns invading Earth to kidnap people and turn them into cotton candy? And how did the others react?
No, actually, this is Steven. It started out, I just tried to imagine the most frightening image I could think of. And for me, it was traveling down a mountain road all by myself, and a clown starts to pass me as I'm driving. I mean, the clown being where it shouldn't be is a frightening image for me. And then it's kind of brainstormed into.
Yeah, so that was the genesis. And then, like, I think Charlie might have mentioned, well, what if the clown wasn't in a car on that road? What if it was just floating there?
Well, if it was floating, it would have to be from outer space. So something as simple as Stephen coming up with clowns is the scariest thing. You get a group of people together and you bounce ideas off of it, and it becomes something killer clowns from outer space.
Yeah, then if a clown was from outer space, why would they be here? It would be clearly to kill us.
Yeah.
Yes.
How would they kill us? Then you start thinking of everything circus and carnival that you ever loved and enjoyed, and you turn it into a killing thing.
We called it, candy-coated kills.
Oh, awesome. I love that. Let's be honest, the title of the film, you know exactly what you're getting. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yes. Or the big top.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it was an homage to the films that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Shrinking Man, Forbidden Planet, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, all these, The Blob, all these great sci-fi movies with teenagers trying to convince an unsuspecting public that they're being invaded. And we took that genre and we just put a twist. We mashed it up with circus.
Yeah, what we did is we took the standard sci-fi, format, and then we said, well, what if you were trying it's difficult enough convincing the authorities that aliens or monsters are killing people. What if you just tipped it a little bit more, that you're trying to convince them that clowns are killing people with cotton candy and popcorn?
Oh.
We pitched it as Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And then the first, after they bought it, it was funny, it was our first feature film pitch. We sold it in the room. Yeah. And when they went out to the markets with it, the first key art they showed us was, and it's out on the internet, you could see it, there's a giant clown head squeezing a woman, and there's blood gushing out of it, and they call it Killer Klowns. And we said, guys, this isn't the movie we're making.
Well, they didn't know the movie we were making.
Yeah.
Guys had an idea. The executive, during the pitch, he just said, I like the title. I couldn't sell that. So he just bought it the title, and then the first thing they did was change the title. But they didn't have any idea. I guess they imagined that it was going to be a bunch of humans in white faces with knives killing people. It was quite the opposite, and the fact that they left us alone to produce it is why we got what we delivered.
Yeah, what we did with clowns is something that no one's ever done before. We made clowns monsters. They were alien beings from another planet, alien monsters, and they become iconic. They're up there, I'm proud to say, I think, with the Universal monsters, Frankenstein, the werewolf, the Wolfman.
I mean, when you think about modern horror figures, I mean, you've got Alien, you've got the Predator, and I think clowns is in there as one of those iconic, classic modern horror creatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And there are only really two sets that have, moved up in the ranks like your guys' clowns have, and that's Pennywise and the Killer Klowns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be up at that level.
That's good company.
Yeah, right?
I think you only have to look at the amount of scare attractions that use clowns as a character in them to know how much clowns have really infiltrated that scare industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I have more friends that are afraid of clowns than xenomorphs. So that's a testament to clowns and being scary.
Yeah, but how many xenomorphs have you actually seen? I've seen plenty of clowns.
True.
Yeah.
And guys, we have nerve in the public. I think a lot of people feel a little nervous and uncomfortable around clowns. Not necessarily that they hate them or they're afraid of them, but I think there's a general discomfort around clowns. They get into your personal space and they do this in front of you, and it's
that was the device we used in the movie. The fact that you've got these clowns in a place that you wouldn't normally see them, but what's a clown going to do to you? They're there to make you laugh. So they're doing this, performance circus antics, and you get in closer, and by the time you get in close enough and you see that they're not like any other clowns you've ever seen before, it's too late.
Yeah, horror movies and monster movies, going back, into the 50s and 60s, and actually, for all time, when you turn the harmless and cute little dolls or ventriloquist dummies into something of horror that seems to, flipping what's supposed to be nice into something nasty seems to be to hit a nerve with the public.
Yeah.
When you create a monster that's complete fantasy that has no real relevance to your modern world, you could kind of pawn it off as saying, well, it's not real. But when you play with iconic images within your society and your everyday life and put that sinister spin on it, then I think it does affect people in a more deep manner.
Yeah, when I look back at, the Twilight Zone, Talkie Tina with Telly Savalas.
That was frightening.
Was scary. And there was famous with Cliff Robertson, a ventriloquist dummy that was very, very frightening.
Yeah, because it's locked into our reality. We can identify with it. It's more close to home.
Yeah.
And the monsters, again, back in the time, was Freddy and Jason, those type of things. Those Earth-based human killers were never of interest to us. So
they were homicidal maniacs.
Yeah.
They weren't monsters.
Yeah, monsters.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, that's the separate. See, we grew up, with the Harryhausen films and stuff. And they were exciting, adventurous kinds of things. And we were never into the gore kind of stuff because there's there's very little separation, from human beings killing people and eviscerating and disemboweling teenagers. Although it's interesting, it's something that we wanted to take a step back from, because no matter how horrible or the aliens or the predators or the killer clowns kill, it's still make believe. They're still just monsters. They're not human beings. Human beings make it too real.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Real life scary enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I said off air before we got started, thanks you very much for my coulrophobia, which everybody knows about who listens.
Yes.
And of course, it came from Killer Klowns from Outer Space. So yes, once again, thank you very much for that. Many nightmares.
I was going to ask you, it specifically came from Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
It wasn't an experience at the carnival or the circus.
Nope. It was specifically this movie.
What was it? Was it something specific within the movie that kind of put you over the edge?
Shorty. Shorty is now my favourite. But yes, Shorty. I can't explain it. Didn't have a fear before. Watched the movie. Yep. Nope. I'm not going to the circus this week, Mum. So,
You don't have your block knocked off. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Yeah. I like how you've actually worded this, Lee. It comes from watching this movie as a child. Yes, I was very, very young.
Yes.
I was not a teenager. I was very, very young, so I didn't know any better. So you said actually the inspiration came from putting something in a place where it was unexpected. Did you ever consider anything other than clowns?
No, it's one of those brainstorming things. I just to me a clown is a kind of a frightening image. It's I have a experience that I could relate to that kind of brought that forward. But I think Lon Chaney, the silent film actor, he's quoted as saying there's nothing more frightening than a clown after midnight. So I think I just tapped into that same sensibility that he was coming up with. It's just a harlequin, an image of somebody with a painted smile on their face. Yeah. I mean, it kind of defies the real intention behind them, especially in an alley at night at 12 o'clock at night.
Well, they are the mischief makers. They are the harlequins. They are the ones, the jesters. They create mischief and mayhem. And our Killer Klowns just took it to the next level. And we were pleased to see that, years later, that they were having clown sightings of clowns where they weren't supposed to be on the side of the road.
Yes, we had that last year.
That was very frightening. It was playing into society's comfort with these entertainers.
Yeah. I
mean, see this strange guy in white face and funny shoes, and you give him your child. You put him on his
I know, right?
That's ridiculous.
A lot of parents make the same mistake with Santa Claus
and Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking. Mall Santa, Easter Bunny, these are the next ones.
Hang on, we actually let Santa and the Easter Bunny into our houses. I think that's even worse.
Exactly. When a kid is crying, you got to respect them and say, you know what, something they're uncomfortable. Maybe hold off until they're a little older.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the funniest.
See, the more you spell it out, the more clowns make perfect
absolutely
sense.
Actually, there was an article recently somebody did, they're blaming us for the decline of popularity of clowns.
And of course you went, I'll take that.
That's quite a
I'm
feat.
quite proud of that accolade.
We like Killer Klowns because, you can do anything. When people say, well, why would they do that? Well, it's the same thing when Mike asked, when Debbie asked Mike, popcorn, why popcorn? He said, because they're clowns.
Yeah.
That opens up the whole universe.
Yeah.
And when you think about some of the Freddy kills and Mike Meyer kills, all those slasher films, the real fun part, I guess, is the creative kills. But that's all within the world of reality.
Yeah.
We were able to tap into circus and carnival motifs and actually give it more of a theatrical fun twist, which only kind of separates the contrast between the death and the funny part.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, our body count is extreme compared to those other movies.
It is when you count those balls of cotton candy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
We got Wes Craven, who did Nightmare on Elm Street. He had dream kills, which was an inspiration for us to do creative kills, something really imaginative and fun. Each one different. So the audience didn't know what to expect. With the Halloween movies and Jason, someone's going to be disemboweled with a machete or a chainsaw, So, we wanted to shake it up. So, no matter how many Killer Klowns, movies there are, you will never see the same thing twice.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I do want to just put out there that, yes, Killer Klowns from Outer Space gave me my fear of clowns. But because we were watching the movies, researching Horror Nights, because we weren't getting out there, so this is how we got our fix, watching it again actually cured it.
Oh, really?
Which, please do not take that. That's a challenge. Nothing to do with spiders, please. But I love the film. I absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to hear. And I'm surprised you guys saw it over in the EU because it didn't get much of a theatrical release in the States in the 80s. And it actually has no real box office from Europe. So I'm really pleased that it's kind of worked its way over so you guys can see it in the other continent.
That's the thing. Now it's on Netflix. It's accessible to everyone over here.
Great. That's
awesome. Yeah. And speaking of those clowns, let's go through them. We got Jumbo, Fatso, Shorty, Rudy, Spiky, Slim, Bibbo, and Chubby. And another one we'll talk about in a second.
Yes.
So they're the Killer Klowns. So how did you guys come up with the different looks of each clown, and and where did the names come from for them?
Well, the names came from you, the fans. Those aren't the names that we gave them.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I want to know where Rudy came from.
He's just that one you want to cheer for,
We had Fatso, and we had Ozob, which is Bozo spelled backwards.
Yeah, because we were notified by Larry Harmon, the creator of Bozo. We were notified by his lawyers to cease and desist because someone did the name Bozo with a picture of clowns that were killing people.
Yeah, our name was what we called Stretch. The two taller, skinny ones are Stretch and Slim. Killer,
Tiny,
Fatso, Chubby, Tiny,
Tiny or Shorty.
Shorty.
We call him Tiny.
Yeah, we had two short ones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, but it's great the way the fans kind of give it their own little moniker.
Yeah, right.
But as far as the designs, I mean, that's we started out with we wanted distinct silhouettes so that when you just see them as a silhouette against the background on location, you could distinguish one clown type from another.
Oh, yeah.
We had the oval, a triangular one to flip the peanut head.
That's what Steven said. Steven said, to avoid having it, not human beings to be mistaken as human beings with makeup. He said, try different shapes: circle, oval, triangle, inverted triangle, peanut. I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Charlie kind of filled in some of the flesh and kind of made them. The concept behind it was that this is an alien race of slug-like creatures, and the patterns just seem to be like a leopard has spots. These guys have patterns that just make them look like clowns. And in fact, it is rumored that these are the ancient astronauts that kind of gave us the concept of our Earth clowns.
And because tighter budget, a very tight budget for the clowns, so Charlie designed 4 basic head shapes, and we did 4 sculptures of that. And then different sets of ears and noses, we turned those 4 with a variation to create our 8 basic clowns.
And then some background puppets. Clownzilla was a unique sculpture because he's one of a kind.
Yeah.
He's a mixed clown and dinosaur.
Yeah. Godzilla.
And from what I've read on IMDb trivia, now is this true? Now, Charles, did you play Clownzilla in the movie?
Yes, I was Clownzilla.
Awesome.
And there's a reason, because we were shooting it in the summer in a tent in the parking lot of Fantasy 2 Film Effect. And it was 115 degrees.
Wow.
Inside the suit, it was well above 115.
Wow.
It was like kind of I don't know if it's correct to say, a Chinese water torture where straight sweat were dripping off of my face, and I was going crazy, and I had to use my conscience. I had to talk myself out of going crazy because I wanted to tear the suit off because I couldn't wipe the sweat away. It was just trickling down and tickling my face. I didn't want to put another person through that, and we wanted to get through this thing as quickly as possible. And, we had to I had big giant shoes, and we have 4-foot riser that he has to step down. I was blind. I couldn't see. I had to sort of feel my way down. I didn't want someone to break their neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a tough job to be inside any of these monster suits. So it ended up being a really great job. It was, by mixing techniques, we had originally wanted to do it stop motion, but even within our own film, we couldn't afford stop motion.
Yeah, and actually, there's a little fun fact that you notice when Clownzilla is descended, he comes down on strings. Originally, he was supposed to be a marionette through that entire sequence, but it would have been a technical nightmare to try and pull that off.
You have to have a special rig to simulate the strings on every limb he walked. It was kind of cool.
No, it was great. He was lowered down. I think that was great. And then we just, on the spur of the moment, said, well, just rip the strings apart and come down in.
When he gets mad.
I thought it worked pretty well. In fact, I think it worked better than having strings on them.
Yeah. And then, G. Moore Jr. was our visual effects supervisor. He was there doing old-time perspective shots, miniature shots, just tying it all in. Joe Viscosa was our pyro guy, the guy that blew up the original Death Star, blew up our ice cream truck.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, and talking about those effects, when you watch Killer Klowns now, even they've upgraded it, Blu-ray, they've cleared the video up. When you're watching it, it holds up perfectly. Like that, as far as visual effects go, you can watch, like, I don't know, I don't want to just call anybody out, but let's say like The Mummy, the more recent Mummy that they did with Brendan Fraser, and you look at the visual effects in that with the CGI and everything, and they can't do anything to make that look good anymore. But when you go back and watch these movies like Killer Klowns, with the budget you guys had to make the effects that good, and then for them to hold up for this well for so long is amazing.
Yeah.
That was really a testament to our friends who really came into our aid. By working in the effects business, we had a bunch of goodwill that we had built up over the years, and our friends just helped us out for a pittance. We threw them a couple of dollars for tens of thousands of dollars worth of work. I mean, Mark Sullivan, premier matte painter, did an incredible job on all the matte paintings.
Oh yeah, and like Dean Warren Jr. and Fantasy Film Effects, and Chris Warren, all those guys.
Joe Viscoso and Ken Marshall did one of the matte paintings on it. You know what? It's really funny you mentioned that The Mummy was in the infancy of CG. So it's dated and it looks it.
Yes.
We were in the heyday of animatronic special effects, and these guys were at the top of their game.
Yeah.
So you got the best of 80s.
Well, technology CG behind, because it's always getting better and better.
Yeah.
Practical is what it is. It's always going to look like it is,
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. If you look at films now, that a lot of the directors are going back to that physical stuff now. I think especially if you look at The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams went back to a lot of physical stuff. They only seemed to use CG when he couldn't get away with doing it physically. And I think those films look a lot better for it.
Yeah, Mad Max, Fury Road. That's
A lot of the Hellboy stuff, they did the same with Guillermo del Toro stuff. He always uses as much physical as he can, and they look so much better for it.
Yes.
Yeah, those guys get it. Somebody like Jon Favreau on Iron Man and Zathura. Great, perfect blend of practical and CG.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're finding is that there's a younger generation who grew up on the 80s films. Well, now they're becoming writers and directors on their own right. And what they want to do is they go back to what really inspired them. And they're kind of turning their back on CG to a certain degree, but they're mining what really inspired them, which is the films of the 80s with rubber monsters and animatronics.
Yeah. And if they can use the CG to improve that, then, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we wish we had rig removal and that sort of thing, digital composite.
Yep.
It makes puppeteering a lot easier because you don't have to self-contained. So it's a great time for a comeback for traditional effects.
Well, yeah, it would be a great time for Killer Klowns from Outer Space, with the tech. It's only been 30 years. That was our first film. I think we could do a really great Killer Klowns from Outer Space in 2018. We were thinking of it would probably be the perfect 3D movie.
Yes,
please. Yeah.
But, I don't know if that's going to happen. Could you imagine, the popcorn, the cotton candy, the paddle ball coming right at you?
Oh, wow.
It's like made for it, yeah.
And the head getting knocked off.
What you need to do is make it one of the 5D movies.
Yes.
And people pay for their popcorn in advance and they get it fired at them. You can have that one.
No, by the time they come around, it might be 5D.
Yeah.
Virtual reality. That's what I want. I want to explore virtual reality.
Now that sounds terrifying, actually. Yes. That's kind of made me go, whoa, that might be just a step too far for me.
I was going to say, we'll get that Fear of Clowns back for you.
Yep. If that happens, I know what you guys are going to do. You're going to make me do that, aren't you?
Yeah.
First.
The test audience.
Uh-oh. I'm busy that night. I'm washing my hair.
Well, a funny story. Somebody wrote us and said that we tapped into their wife's 2 phobias. She had a terrible fear of clowns before she saw Killer Klowns, and she also had a fear of toilets. So,
what?
So when the Killer Clown Jack in the Box pops out of the toilet, I think she had a heart attack.
Yeah. People say it's a silly film, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And we said, you know what? What we tried to do is like the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock. We tried to do to the toilet what he did to the shower inside.
I like it.
I'll always check twice now.
Now going on that, funny stories, I'm sure you guys have tons of them, but do you have anyone in particular that you can share that happened during filming, maybe something that, isn't well known?
We didn't have any fun on that making them.
I would recommend you listen to the commentary on the DVD, and you can hear it's like a bitch fest. How horrible it was to make the film, and you can get all the stories. The biggest one was the big car crash disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, we were half the night was spent on prepping for that, and the effects guy left a sandbag in front of the car's front wheel. So when they tried to tow it down the hill so it'd crash at a speed of like 90 miles an hour, it kind of dribbled off the edge of the cliff like somebody running nose. Yeah, it was anticlimactic.
Yeah, the car was on a slide hill, so they put a little shot bag, sandbag underneath the wheel to keep it from rolling. And they thought when they pulled the cable, it would just roll over it, but they just pulled off too quick and snapped the cable. But enough momentum to have it dribble over the sandbag and over the bridge.
Things like that happen, on all productions. Unfortunately, we were Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Yeah. It was a one-shot only, a one-take only deal. And you can't afford that kind of mistake when you only have one car and one chance to do it.
Yeah. So a number of stories like that.
Okay.
We need to get that on DVD so we can listen to that commentary.
I got to go back and watch that.
One of the better commentaries I've heard from fans.
Yeah, because it's kind of a no hold barred just version of what it takes to make a low budget movie when not everybody's on the same page with you.
I'll tell you one thing that people don't know: the vacuum cleaner scene where the clowns are, vacuuming up the cocoons down the main street and everything. Mm-hmm. It was a clown parade with the vacuum cleaner machine. Yes. Setting up those streamers, the wind in Watsonville was ridiculously blowing, and the stuff was blowing. So when we were setting it up, the wind was making it look so chaotic, and it would have added so much to the scene. When we started filming, the moment we started filming, the wind stopped. And all the streamers that were flowing just laid there. So what it did, it just took that extra layer of craziness out of it because the wind stopped.
Typical.
Wow.
But we've gotten over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wake up screaming at night.
We need giant fans.
You The other thing is the pie gag. A classic line will go down, it's one of the famous lines of all times. What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Yeah.
Don't ask a question if you don't want to know what the answer is. But that was a one-shot deal. We had 30 or 40 pies rigged. Everyone had it. And it's more difficult to do it than you think because you don't want to let the tin go. So we had to secure this tin to everybody's hands. But everyone had one shot at it, and that first pie missed him.
I noticed that. How did that kind of... Oh, no. Every other one hit, though.
We didn't want to just do the typical shaving cream on a pie crust. We actually had real pie filling. So made it incredibly heavy. So when you got hit by one of those, it hurt.
And to David Steele, who played the security guard, to his credit, we thank him for that wonderful performance.
Yeah, what a trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to actually physically hose him off afterwards? Because he was covered.
He was covered.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the night on the Santa Cruz amusement pier.
Yeah.
They shot Lost Boys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, yes. And now it's time to talk about the Scare Zone, Halloween Horror Nights 28, which of course is based on Killer Klowns. Now the three of you got to experience this for yourself a few weeks ago, and what did you think of the physical translation?
Actually, we were blown away by it. It was neat, just seeing the clown motif, the projections on the building, showing scenes from the movie, and the shadow gag. It was really quite the tribute.
Well, that's what struck me. Universal really went all out on our property. They didn't just have clowns running around the park. They actually transformed an entire block area, a downtown area, and transformed it like it looked like an invasion. So from across the park, you could see the red and yellow stripes on all the buildings. See a large shadow gag being projected, as if the entire block was invaded. And as you get closer, they had smoke, they had bubbles, they had all of these lighting effects, and you were just in the midst of an invasion with clowns running around. It was quite immersive.
And the clowns were, for the most part, staying in character, playing scenes from the movie. The John Massari soundtrack was playing throughout the night. People would stop. And, people would say, well, was it characteristic for a clown to stop for a selfie? 30 years ago, there were no such things as selfies.
Yeah, exactly.
True, yes.
Of course they would. But that's how they get close to you.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I'll remember that one.
Well, that's what was good about it, because there was some interaction. I mean, for fans of the film to actually be immersed in a scene of an invasion and then to have an opportunity to kind of play with the clowns, take pictures with the clowns, I think the fans got a big kick out of it.
They recreated the ice cream truck, the Terenzi Brothers ice cream truck with the JoJo head on it.
They recreated the Terenzi Brothers.
All the Terenzi Brothers were really fun interacting with the clowns and the guests.
They had a woman, I imagine she was Debbie Stone, and she had one of the Jack-in-the-Box clowns as a hand puppet running around screaming. It was attacking her. So they had a lot of detail from the movie that they were able to create live. And I think it must have been a great treat for the audience.
Yeah, the clown crew, the sculptures and all the hair work, the costume work was really faithful to what they saw in the movie.
Yeah, and who was it? Mike Aiello. He was the creative director of the entire operation, and they took it seriously. It's one of his favorite films. We were happy here, and it was a lot of love that went into it, and it showed.
Yeah, and I think it's like the movie it's unique to that experience. It's funny that we never saw clowns as a real true horror movie. We always saw it more like a sci-fi comedy, but it's been incredible how the true horror fan have embraced the movie, and it's become part of that lore as well. And so it was really great to see it in amidst all the other amazing houses and mazes that they had set up there, that it was pretty populated the entire time we were there. People seemed to be having a really, really good time.
From what we understand, it was supposedly reviewed as one of the most successful scare zones of this year. We'll see that maybe if it continues, maybe they'll do a haunt or a maze next year. And we're hoping that, Universal will keep it and maybe send it to Hollywood for next Halloween.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I have actually told them, I've put my order in for it to be a house next year, because we're out next year. So I've told them. So it should happen because they do listen to me.
Well, Darren and Chris, you've both been this year and experienced it for yourselves.
Yeah, and going through it was incredible. I went the first weekend that it was open, and walking into that scare zone, like you said, and seeing Shorty come up to you, and the actor did such a great job because they came up to me with their hands behind their back, and they were just like looking back, like you said, like smiling, and just like kind of gesturing with their head, like, "Hey, come over here." And then as soon as I went over there and put my camera up, then out come the boxing gloves, and he just starts taking shots at me, 1 2 1 2. I'm like, oh my gosh, and intense and jumping. And then as soon as that's happening, I turn around, and then we've got the big guy behind me just looming over me. It's just incredible to be in the middle, like you said, like in the middle of that and seeing it coming at you from every direction.
They had the fog and the lights. They had a bubble blower and fog machine where the bubbles came down, and when they burst, fog came out of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and those guys they worked really well together too.
Yeah, I saw some younger kids actually like running through there, just playing with the bubbles. They were so happy about it, and then they're like, "Oh gosh, giant clowns!" Okay.
The contrast with the fun and the deadly aspect of it, and the performers are really great. They had a lot of fun. Great performance, kind of playing up the shtick really well.
Oh yeah,
I had my fantasy. I got the 2 clown girls, and they made a clown sandwich out of me.
Yeah, the other big thing on that scare zone was the costumes, right? I mean, they did such an amazing job making it look, just like the movie did, and how many of those costumes, because I saw some of like they would change out the clowns in between, a certain amount of time, and there was a lot of clowns out there.
Yeah, a great attention to detail. They did a great job.
Yeah, the weapons, the hockey sticks, the cocoon gun, the popcorn gun. Yeah, just really good. We couldn't. It's just funny. A little movie 30 years ago that got that sort of attention and detail was really quite the tribute.
The one character I was missing. Well, there was no Grant Kramer. There was no Mike Tobacco. But I was wondering why they didn't do Officer Mooney, because that would have been a great photo op.
Yeah, it would. Yes.
Just walking around. What are you guys doing? What are you looking at?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on here.
Call
Come on.
morons and things like that.
You little fart.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a great addition for the maze to go to the police station. Yeah, and see Mooney as the ventriloquist puppet.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome.
That was, I was just going to say that.
Yes.
Knowing Mike, he might be saving 1 or 2 of those things in case that happens.
Yeah, Mike's really creative. I think he's got it up his sleeve.
Yeah.
We were watching the movie, me and my girlfriend the other day, and while we were watching it, since we already went to, the scare zone, we were at Horror Nights already. Just watching it, we were thinking about you guys mentioned having it as a house one time or one year. It just kind of plays to being a house. I think it just watching the movie, you just kind of see the haunted house already happening.
Yeah. It's a great story. You start in the town, you're going through the woods, you go through the town, you go to the police station, then you end up on the pier, then you're into the spaceship. You go deeper and deeper and deeper. Who knows what you'd find in that spaceship?
And guess who you'll meet at the end?
Yes. All right, I'm sold. By the way, everyone listening, email Universal Creative and tell them this is what we want next year for Halloween Horror Nights. And if we can get as many people in, they might actually do it because it would work so well as a house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and one of the Chiodo Brothers will actually dress up as a Clownzilla for us.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Charles would be up for actually reprising that role in the maze.
I would love that. We'd have to remake the costume. The costume is long gone, but
we'll blow a giant AC vent in there for you, so don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Darren, you kind of discussed it before Horror Nights this year, and you were sort of worried that it being such a small area and with the clowns being so big that it wouldn't be as kinetic as it is. You were kind of worried that the clowns would be sort of static figures. And I know you came back and were blown away by how much they actually did manage to do in that scare zone.
Yeah, when you think of clowns and, some of the other scare zones that they've had that have incorporated clowns, you got the big shoes, and just with how crowded Horror Nights is now with so many people coming to the event, I figured, they would just be, kind of standing off to the side and doing their thing, but they found a way to make it work, and those guys were running around, basically. They were super active through the crowd, like we said, very interactive and awesome.
It was a very active scare zone because people had to walk through it, and they got involved in it, and many people just stepped back against the rails and just stood around for 10, 15 minutes just watching the craziness.
Yeah,
that was the first time they've ever done a scare zone on that street.
Oh,
Yeah. So some people
Yeah.
might have missed it. It's not a typical, area for it. So
Yeah, that is true. That they've had like some like little roaming horde and stuff like that, but that's the first time they've ever fleshed out that zone there with something, and it was great for it. It's perfect.
yeah, again, in the vantage point, if we first saw it at night from across the way, across the lagoon or whatever that is, there, the water feature, and it was just again quite the image, seeing the clown projected on the tent, projected on the building, and so you get closer, you hear the music, the great John Massari score, and then the Dickie song,
Which
really
is so
great.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that song is
Oh,
so
yeah.
awesome.
There's some great pieces in the whole movie,
Yeah.
actually. I said to Lee after we'd finished watching, was it yesterday, I watched
Yes.
it again. I said, I need the soundtrack. In fact, I think I've got a new ringtone coming
And
to
it
my
just fits
phone.
it so well.
Yeah.
Oh, the orchestrated soundtrack
Yeah,
is
the
amazing.
new one
Yeah.
is amazing.
Oh, new one.
With the orchestra.
because you hear the full piece, not just the little snippets in the movie. And I was really impressed what John had made there. He had different variations of it, and the stuff that didn't make it into the movie. He did the
Wow.
whole piece. The CD is amazing.
We shall be looking that up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, and what did you guys think of the event overall?
The 10 mazes. You know what? They're all real good, and there's like 5 out of the 10 that are great.
Oh yeah, the Stranger Things was phenomenal, and the Poltergeist was incredible. And I would think that Netflix must be really pleased with what the guys did with Stranger Things. They went all out and created a really immersive experience that's only going to help the IP.
Yeah, it's funny. Each one has its own character, obviously. Not the licensed properties like Stranger Things, Poltergeist, Halloween, and then the original ones, the Scary Tales, was really, really good.
Oh yeah, and they had that carnival, that junkyard, the carnival junkyard with a bunch of circus performers. That was just so frightening.
And I was the Halloween one where Michael Myers was really, really scary and really well done because he came out about 20 times.
Yeah. Mike and Blake had given us though we didn't want to. We wanted to just see how they presented it. They gave us a lights on tour.
Awesome.
And it was funny having seen it in the light. Didn't detract from the experience seeing it later on in the dark, with the full cast and everything.
But it did give us insight to the amount of work they did.
Yeah.
Beautiful art direction, the props. I mean, a lot of things that you probably didn't see, but you actually felt their presence in the dark.
Yeah, you know what? When I saw it in the daytime, because of the timing of it, and they have to get 2,000 people through every hour. Sometimes you miss something.
Yeah.
The thing jumps out before or after you pass. So what that makes you do is go back a second and third time so you can experience everything that's there. Because on the first run through, you can't experience everything. There's so much going on.
Yeah, very successful. I think the guys really came up with a great concept, and I know they're making big bucks on it.
Yeah,
fans love it.
A little sensory overload. We did 10 minutes, in one night.
Wow.
We got the RIP tour. So
Yes, they're brilliant.
And then spent a lot of time in the clown scare zone. Yeah, it was quite the achievement.
Oh, what I was really impressed by was when you enter the park, you go through the pumpkin zone, and the trees have hundreds of jack-o'-lanterns in it.
Stunning, isn't it?
Original and haunting things I had seen.
Yeah.
And then the original makeups they did on the pumpkin monster characters, I've been in the business for 30 years. Unique and original pumpkin monsters. They were actually made out of the pulp and the insides of pumpkins.
Yeah.
And dribbling. I thought that was very original and creative.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very. Yeah, I would say those are probably like the highlight, of course, next to the clowns.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of Universal's original creations this year. But, yeah, those things are incredible.
We had got a kick out of anybody who was wearing a Killer Clown T-shirt. We would go up to them and say, "You like the movie?" And they go, "Yeah, I love this movie." And then we say, "We made it." They go, "No."
Oh, that'd be so cool.
And anyone who was wearing a Killer Clown T-shirt.
So cool. Now, okay, we're going to wrap up with one last question here. You guys alluded to a sequel to Killer Klowns earlier. Are we ever going to get a sequel to Killer Klowns?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. We've been working on it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Of closer, then farther and farther away. It's a very fickle business, but
You'd have 8 if it was up to us.
yeah, but
Awesome.
We're waiting.
because of the recent success of making so much money, I think the people at MGM are probably going to think twice about our request to get something going. So I would say that there will be something in the near future. I think the time has come where the populace is ready for a sequel.
Yeah.
We are. We have been.
So
we
cool.
are.
That'd be
yes.
awesome.
I'm so excited.
I know I'm only a recent convert, but yes, I'd be up for a sequel.
Yes. Oh, that's
So
so
would
cool.
we.
Yes.
In the past, before I'd say, don't hold your breath for the sequel. Now I tell everybody, hold your breath.
They know,
Awesome.
they know what we want to do with it. We just want to see if they want to get on board.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed for that.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, on social media, you guys should be demanding it.
Yeah.
Contact MGM.
We will.
Make sure it does it. Keep on fighting the fight.
Yes.
If they see there's a real need for it, a desire for it, if they can make money, they'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact there's a licensed property for the Universal Halloween haunt is
That's a plus.
good indication.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Online petition.
And
right.
the fact is, you'll have probably found a lot of people that have gone to Halloween Horror Nights that don't necessarily know the film now will go home afterwards and check it out.
Well, that's
I hope
exactly
so.
right. That's
Yeah.
exactly. People that never heard of it, will now say, you know what, this is. I gotta see this film. And there's 6 different versions of DVDs. It's on Netflix. It's on streaming.
Yeah, so hopefully we've excited a new audience that's going to
Absolutely.
demand more Killer Klowns.
Yes.
So when you finish sending your emails to Universal about getting a house out there
Yes.
next year, send one to MGM as well for the sequel.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
MGM is kind of the rights holders right now, and they control the property. So I'd say they're the ones
Yeah.
to
Yes.
talk to.
Because we need to traumatize the next generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Carry that torch and pitchfork. So yeah, we are looking forward to, fingers very firmly crossed, seeing Killer Klowns return to Halloween Horror Nights next year as a house.
Or at least 30. It might give it a couple of years.
Oh, we're at both, so we're all right.
How long was Trick or Treat a scare zone last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they've only waited a year to make Trick or Treat from a scare
it's a
zone into a house. So
possibility.
it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good possibility.
Yeah. So they could do Scare Zone this year, house next year, complete
event the year
land.
after.
Yep. The year after.
They've done it with The Walking Dead before. Why not?
Yeah, that did take over.
It's for the premiere of Killer Klowns Part 2.
Yeah.
I want the Killer Klowns from Outer Space theme park amusement ride.
Oh yeah.
Where you all ride in pods of cotton candy.
That would be cool.
Oh, we can kick Krusty out of his ride and put them in there. I
Yeah.
think that's just fine.
You know what they do? What they do is they review what was successful, based on what the fans liked. They figure out, they take a survey of what was successful, what was the most liked haunts and scare zones, and they put it on a list, and then they do a presentation, soon after, they tear down, and they start working on the next one. But they sit down and they ask everybody, what would you like to do from this list? And it's basically, a vote, basically, on which ones will come back, which ones won't come back, and new ones that they might want to investigate and develop. So we're hoping that our reviews for Killer Klowns will encourage a walkthrough next year.
Definitely.
Right,
Awesome.
really hope so.
I
really
definitely hope so, yeah.
It's the one thing that I've been really upset about not getting out this year to see.
Yeah,
I'll
this
be
is
honest.
part of the reason as well why we want it to be a house, so we can get to experience it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I love your enthusiasm. I hope they do it. I would love to meet you guys and take you through it myself.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Right, it's a date. I will have my Killer Klowns t-shirt on.
Cool.
Yes.
I'll take a picture.
Awesome.
Yes. Right. So, Stephen, Edward, and Charles, do you have any websites or social media outlets, whatever?
Or MGM email addresses.
Yes, that you would like to share with the listeners.
Chiodo Bros on Facebook, Chiodo Bros on Instagram and Twitter.
And any one of us, any individual has also a Facebook page that has variations of what's on our company page. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Facebook and our website's not really up to snuff yet.
Yeah, we did a bunch of
Lot of clown
live
sites.
Facebook live broadcasts from the night. That's on Steven's page, Stephen Chiodo, and my Facebook page, Edward Chiodo. So you can check them out.
And there are a lot of fan pages. There's Killer Clown fans, and there's if you just Facebook Killer Clown. There's about 3 or 4 or 5 that'll pop up.
Awesome.
So get stalking, people.
Definitely.
And stalking is good in this context.
Yes. Oh, and definitely check out the YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes. Awesome. I don't want to do this bit because it means we're done.
Well, I will. It's a good pleasure talking to you guys.
It's been awesome.
Enthusiasm. Just keep on spreading the word.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fabulous. We've really appreciated you coming on. We've loved chatting with you.
It's been so much fun.
Our pleasure.
It's just flown over. It's gone too fast. So thank you for listening, everybody. That's it for episode 324. So for Stephen, Edward, Charles, Lee, Darren, Chris, and myself, Tracy, this has been the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Cut, print, that's a wrap for another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.